Good day, everyone. Today we're going to watch the Gillette commercial that has been getting a lot of backlash. Um, so yeah, we're gonna watch it. Um, to be honest, I do use Gillette and kind of use their products. This is almost an empty bag, so as you can see, I do use their products to shave and stuff every now and then. You have options, to buy cheaper razors like this ones over here, or the more expensive ones are like $12 for just one, which is good for your money anyway. You get what you get for your money. If you buy the cheapest ones, that are like $5 for 20. They're not gonna last long each and every single one of them. But if you pay $12 for one, that one might last you a few weeks, depending how often you shave. And I shave a lot because my hair grows really quickly, like 2 days it takes for it to grow. Now let's watch the video. I am going to play the video once and then I am going to repeat it and I'm going to do my analysis on it.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
Some already are. But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Whew, there's a lot to talk about apparently. Let's see, let's play back. Now to the analysis. Oh, we got a lot to talk about.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual
Toxic
harassment.
masculinity.
Alright, so first of all, I don't think men are the only ones who do bullying. I would say women are more harsh in their words when they're bullying someone. That's one thing you gotta keep in mind. And men are not the only ones who do sexual assault. Let's be real. Men are more likely to get raped and be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. Mostly when in between the ages of 8 and 11, if I remember correctly. And that's without counting prison rapes and without counting the unreported cases. So yeah, I guess. And this is like just telling us that men are the monsters, but like it could go either way because the statistics are not really clear. I've seen some saying 1 in every 33 men, 1 in every 6 men, 1 in every 71 men. So yeah, the statistics, my English, the statistics are like all over the place. There is no defined line because it's always different. So it's hard to come out with statistics accurate enough to portray which gender are most likely to be assaulted and stuff. Bullying, like I said, girls are more likely to be are more harsher than guys. uh, in certain ways. Some guys do are physical, of course, but females just know how to hit the soft spots. Uh, I mean, everyone has been bullying. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people has been bullied. I could raise my hand and say I was, cause I was. But this is not just men being the perpetrators. You know what I mean? Um, well, let's keep going. Toxic masculinity. My English. Toxic masculinity. All right. First of all, there's nothing toxic about being masculine. It's just you being you, basically. All right. You want to be separated from the bunch. You want to be your own person. And masculinity is one of those things that help you be different from other guys. You want to have the perfect jawline. You want to have the most defined muscles. You want to do all this, the good hairline and stuff like that. So there's nothing toxic about being masculine. Let's keep going.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't.
All right. This is the thing. Guys are most likely to be called losers, sissies, and be told everyone hates you. A lot of times, guys are more likely to get the messages of "go kill yourself" and stuff like that. So, and a lot of men commit suicide more than women because of these things, because of cyberbullying. And it doesn't make it right in either way if it is against man or a woman. Doesn't really make a difference. But like, men are not the only ones that do this shit. It's also women as well. This commercial is portraying that men are the monsters that commit all this stuff, this horrendous uh, stuff. Let's keep going.
Can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
Whistling at a woman, I don't think that's sexual harassment unless you touch her consent. Like they say, like what does the say said? Look with your touch with your eyes and look with your hands. Basically, that's a Spanish thing. Uh, toca con los ojos y mira con la mano. Basically, you can look and not touch. Basically. Um,
It's been going on far.
all right, that's more between two people who are married and know each other. Of course, you cannot touch anyone without their consent. Obviously, that's. But like, who cares if you two are married? You do this stuff. Plus, women do touch men's butts a lot more frequent, from what I've seen, and they touch each other's butts. I don't know if that made sense, but my years of high school and stuff like that, I've seen all that stuff going on. So I know, because girls do like touching each other's butts. I, I don't know. But like, if you two are a couple and stuff like that, it doesn't really matter. You're not hurting anyone. Um, it's just being intimate. But like, if you do it to a stranger now, that's assault, basically. That's sexual assault. You shouldn't do that to random people. Obviously, just people who you know and are comfortable with you doing that kind of stuff.
Too long.
I don't know what the fuck is.
We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
Okay, here's the thing. When the firemen come in, the woman they start, flirting with them and stuff like that, or male doctors as well. Um, yeah, like men are not the only ones who like catcall a nurse, because females do that as well. If I remember correctly, my mother was like, "Oh, your math teacher is so handsome," because he was handsome. Um, my math teacher back in middle school, my eighth grade teacher, like he was tall as fuck. He was like, I think he was 7 feet tall and blonde hair and blue eyes, and he was handsome. And like my mom told me that when she went to the teachers meeting, parent teacher meeting, for your grades and stuff like that. She told me that the first second that she looked at him, she told me that. It is awkward.
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Now, in a business perspective, you're always gonna get interrupted, right? Um, Women are not the only ones who get interrupted. Men get interrupted the entire time. That's the purpose of an argument and of a discussion, right? Everybody has a point to make and stuff like that, and in my English, interpret whatever that word, their topics. Female bosses are like the most disrespectful ones from what I see because like I always get like cut off in the middle of my sentence because of a female. Um, and not just it's my own personal experience. That's what I experience. And guys at least like wait for you to be finished, and then they're like, okay, yeah, sure, but and then they start talking, right? Females, you'll be like in the middle of your sentence, and they'll be like, no, 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 you're wrong. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I've experienced. So in a business world, you're always gonna get cut off when you have an idea or something because people are going to question you, or they're going to put their own feedback on it, or try to make it better and work on it, or just trash your entire argument out the window. And that's okay, right? But like it doesn't mean you have to be offended by it. You just have to live your life, I guess. You cannot just go to your like question your boss about it. If he didn't take your advice or your suggestion, wait for it to go wrong, right? Wait for it to go wrong, and then give your feedback, because that's what I did back when I had group projects and stuff like that during carpentry. And like I told him, like, hey, 15 and a quarter, for rafters, right? Because they have to be 16 inches on center. And I remember correctly, they have to be 15 and a quarter, from each other. And then I was told, no, it's 14 and a quarter. No, it's 12, 13. I was like, no, it's 15 and a quarter. And they were like, they made me put the rafters on, then take them off because of their new measurements and stuff like that. I did that like 5 times. I'm like 15 and a quarter, and they're like, no, it's 14, no, it's 13, no, it's 12, now it's 11. I told my teacher this, and I was so pissed. I walked out of the group and stayed in the classroom to cool off. And then one of the girls was like, hey, we're the ones working, and you're here. And I'm like, I've been telling you this shit forever. Like, hey, it's 15 and a quarter. I'm the one putting the rafters on. I am the one taking them off. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? I get tired. Like I get tired from doing the same shit and then being cut off when I say, "Hey, this is right thing to do. Let's do it," and nobody does it, right? And then my instructor, who's a bitch, by the way, fucking hate. I think I hated him. He was such a beta male, and he's like, "Hey, Ed, well, your group is working and you're here. I know they did something wrong, but they're the ones working right now. And what does this make you look like?" And I'm like, hey, hello, I was the one doing 98% of the work. Well, they are spouting nonsense. I have to do everything they say, or else I'm the bad guy, you know. And he started giving me a whole speech about it and shit like that. And I hated him for that. And I hated him for another thing that happened during the school year, which I'm not going to talk about today. That will be a topic for another day. Uh, but yeah, like that's something I experienced in my lifetime, my short lifetime, I should say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys.
Play fighting is not really bad unless someone does get hurt.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something
You see, like us guys, we have a different way in playing with each other, right? And that's why we have shorter lifespans, to be honest with you, because we do stupid shit. Like we do stupid shit. Um, like climbing trees, doing wheelies, jumping off ramps and stuff like that. getting inside a freaking tire, a giant tire, then being rolled off the hill. Who do all this shit, right? Um, and that's and we play fight. One of the reasons why I did wrestling was because I just love physical, being physical. I like a sport that is physical. That makes me use my entire body, and like it gives me a lot of flashbacks to my childhood, how I used to play fight with my brothers and stuff like that. And that's not bad. As long as no one gets hurt, I guess. But let's be real, we get hurt regardless. We try to be gentle with each other. Somehow someone gets hurt.
Finally change.
Allegations regarding
And I don't know what she's in the video. This like takes away any value this commercial any had, because this her channel is literally literal liberal propaganda basically. It's not relevant.
sexual assault and sexual
They,
harassment.
they try so hard to be a news broadcast, but really they're not.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
Okay, here like he's probably someone filming because he has a camera, and this guy's just white knight. But like if you think about it, he's just doing it for the camera, for the show. Otherwise he'd just be keeping it to himself or just flirting with them and stuff like that, hanging out, stuff like that, being a cool guy. He's just being a party pooper, to be honest, because he's
To
not technically forcing them.
say the right
He could have
thing,
just moved on to someone
to
else.
act the right way.
Now here's the thing, this one too. How the fuck do you want someone to find a mate if they don't, try to get close and be like, hey, how are you doing? What's your name and stuff like that. Like, if I know some, if I learn something throughout my years, it's the black guys are the first one to do so. All right, they see a big booty, they go after it. All right, and let's be real here. Let's be real. Uh, all right, but to be honest with you, uh, part of meeting someone is being socializing with them. Like, how are you gonna meet people if you do not socialize? As long as you don't get physical with them, you're fine, I guess. You know, the saying.
Not cool? Not cool?
Some already are.
Now, if you see a boy being chased by like 20 kids trying to beat him up, obviously you will step in. You have, you could step in and save the kid, right?
But some is not enough.
You see, I would do that. I would defend a kid being bullied like that. Like anyone would.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Or the sissies or the betas of tomorrow. You see, this whole commercial is just to demonize men and stuff like that. You see, what makes a man to me is basically being a tough guy, basically. Not backing down from a challenge, even if you're outmatched and stuff like that. That's something that's my character, right? Every time I did a wrestling match, for instance, there was guys that I totally knew that would scrape me, or I would wipe the floor with me. But one thing I never did is giving up. All right, I went in and gave it my all. Right, a beta male will not do that. To just run away. A man will face the problems ahead of them and face them head on and not back down, because the man has a lot to lose, right? Um, really, to be honest with you, this is just minimizing the values of men. And the phrase men will always be men, or men are men, boys will be boys, or something like that. Whatever. What did they say? Boys will be boys, I guess, or something like that.
Been going on.
What I
Making this.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah, boys will be boys. Um, the Me Too movement, the SJWs, the LGBTQ, or whatever letters they added it, because they used to be LGBT, then LGBTQ, and now it has like two Q's and an A and something like that. So it's yeah, they keep adding letters. Those communities, um, how would I say, use that phrase as to make it sound that men think it's okay to sexually assault a woman, which is wrong. That is not. It's not true. That phrase is used to signify that boys will be boys. You know, we get in trouble a lot. We do things that to hurt ourselves for the sake of fun, right? Like I said, we climb trees, we do wheelies. Some of us grown men do drifts, even though it's totally illegal, but we still do it anyways because it's cool, it's fun. Want to have fun, right? Um, that's that's where the phrase "boys will be boys" comes in because we love having fun and putting ourselves in danger. In a sense, we like putting ourselves in danger. Because how many times, if you have got hurt doing wheelies, for example, how many times have your mom or dad have told you, "Don't do wheelies down the street, Johnny, or else you'll get hurt"? And how many of us did wheelies down the street and got hurt for the sake of fun, huh? Tell me that. uh, so that's where the phrase "boys will be boys" will be appropriate because we are boys. We never grow up. We love having fun, and we get ourselves hurt for the sake of fun. I feel like this commercial should have been a more accurate depiction of boys. Oh man, you see this part over here without the kid breaking through and shit like that. That would have been a good commercial if they went with it. But like they didn't. They just went. They've tossed everything about Gillette and just put liberal propaganda here, and that's not a good business decision for Gillette. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. Like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I'll see you soon. This is Spartan 1913. I'll see you later, boys.